Hey everyone, welcome. Nice to see you all. In this week's edition of the Coworking Cuppa, I'm having a little cup of coffee, but I'm not going to be drinking coffee for too long because I'm going to be up and about, my friends, because today is a little bit like show and tell. Show and tell was always the thing I really looked forward to in elementary school because I really liked telling stories, not because I necessarily had some shiny new object I needed to show off. So what I want to do today, because I think a lot of people don't know this about Anchor Space, actually, and this is true of both locations, both the New York and Maine locations, is that we have technology available to rent. Now, everything I'm going to show you today is stuff we have both places, but we also have stuff that we could easily get. So we are open to requests. But if you want to see a list of what we have, if you go to the Anchor Space website, it's /equipment rental. It's linked in the menu of both websites as well. So if you want to see what kind of tech equipment we have, there's a full list there. But today, I just kind of want to go over with you some of the things that we have available. And by the way, this is for our members. So if you're a monthly member in Anchor Space and you want to use any of this equipment, let us know. We'll hook you up. That's part of what you pay for. If you're somebody who just likes us and is local and wants to use the stuff, you can rent it for us for a day or for a longer period of time. So like I said, most of the stuff is sort of tech related because obviously like a lot of people, especially now, need technology to do their work. And obviously there's certain kind of specific things that if we don't have, we know maybe where you can rent a chocolate fountain, for example. I've thought of getting a chocolate fountain because I thought it'd be nice to own one, but then I thought of storing it and the novelty wearing off, and I sort of got rid of that. So let's look at some of the stuff here. The very first thing that we have, which became essential during the pandemic, is we have webcams. Now, obviously, I'm using a webcam right now, and this is mine, but we've got a webcam in each of the spaces. So in this case, this one's a wide angle lens. So what that allows us to do is if we're in this larger room and we want to socially distance people, it allows everybody in the room to be able to be seen because it's got that wider angle. So, and also what I love about this is it has like the world's longest, oh yeah, it's still going, this thing has the longest HDMI cord I've ever seen. So yes, we have webcams available. So if you want to use it to run a meeting or something like that, like you're doing a hybrid meeting and you want to try it out, but you don't want to spend $150 without knowing that you should do that. Sometimes renting tech is a good way to do that. So we have, like I said, we've got webcams in Anchor Space ready to go, and we can even give you some little tips of how to use them because we've been using it so far. Now, another fun thing that I do, and I don't know if other people do this too, is, for example, I try to get the same model of everything in both locations. And so, for example, we have the exact same printer in both Maine and New York. We have the same webcam in Maine and New York. We have the same model of the next thing, which is an Apple TV. Now, Apple TVs are handy because what happens is people will come in to do a presentation. Again, this is a little bit less applicable now that we're all not meeting in real life. They come in and they have, I don't know, they have a Mac with some, and what I used to do is buy a bunch of what are called dongles, which are things that connect the Mac into, like, say, an HDMI that will go into a video projector type thing. And what happened was each one of these dongles was costing me like, I don't know, between like around $40 each. And so when you have like 10 of them, it feels really silly that you're just carrying around $150 worth of dongles. So what we did is for each location, we've got an Apple TV. And what that allows you to do is if you have somebody that comes in and they're giving a presentation and they don't have, and they have a Mac and they don't have the right adapter, they can connect via the display port to whatever screen this is hooked up to. So it saves you from having to carry a bunch of dongles, and also it's a lot less easy to lose. Like it's bigger than a little tiny connector thing that costs $40. So we have, like I said, we've got one of those at each location. So and in addition, obviously attached to each TV, we have an HDMI cord. And HDMI cords pretty much work with everything. Most PCs have, or most laptops have an HDMI port, but if they don't, that's what this Apple TV is for. So if you have somebody who's coming to make a presentation or is somebody who's like renting, a conference room or something, like let's say you run a hotel or something like that. It's nice to kind of have this on hand. And if you're local, put us on your list and you can just rent this from us when you need it. And we can run it even right over depending on the availability. Now, the other thing which I have behind me is in both locations, we have a television on wheels. Again, in going with my theme, in both New York and Maine, we have the exact same TV and the exact same rolling type setup. And what this allows us to do is obviously we can move it from room to room, which has become more important because in the socially distanced world that we live in, we're kind of using our larger spaces as hybrid meeting spaces where some people physically come in and want that in-person, obviously socially distanced, wearing masks reality, but other people want to tune in. So this, we can roll this out into this main room and basically, about 8 of us can be in here. And I'm in the New York location right now. 8 of us can be in here and infinite number of people can be on the TV and we're all in the same meeting. So if you want a TV type setup and you don't feel like waiting for it to come in, you're welcome to, like I said, we rent it out. We've done it before. We had a tech company that was doing I think they were doing some kind of trade show locally, and they wanted to be able to show their virtual tours. And they were like, hey, can I rent the TV on the rolling thing and have it displayed next to our table? Absolutely. So like I said, we've got one of these in Bar Harbor and we got one of these in Potsdam. So if you're in the area and need something like that, that's something that we have available. And again, to remind you, if you're a member, you can use this stuff for free. If you're not a member, you can rent it by the day, or we do multi-day discounts because why not? You're saving us some effort. Now, some other stuff that we have that might be of interest is a little bit more audio-visual. So the first thing we have in both locations is we have microphones. So if you're thinking about exploring the world of podcasting or something like that, and again, think of this as a way to kind of try something without committing to buying the equipment yourself. I have a rule with my new hobbies, which in my personal life, which is that if I have a new hobby, I will get something like just kind of functional to just try it out. And if I get really into it after a year, then I'll invest in real equipment. So what you can do is if you're thinking about having a podcast, rather than going out and buying a microphone, you can just use one of our microphones. So this is the one we have here. It's a blue Yeti, I believe, is the model. And then we have a blue Snowball in Maine. So same idea, similar price point. I think this one is slightly more expensive, but the idea is that unlike the mic that's built into your computer or built into your webcam, I don't know why, I should have just kept this plugged in and talked into it so that you could hear the difference. I don't know if I can attempt that while I'm in the middle of broadcast, but it's really interesting if you record something in this and then you record something with the default webcam, how much better this is audio-wise. So like I said, we've got this available and you're welcome to use it as part of your Anchor Space membership or as a rental type situation. I'm going to take this. There we go. The other thing that is actually the most popular thing that we rent out is our LCD projector and screen. So in both locations, we have an LCD projector. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever I think of does anybody else okay, I'm revealing my age here. So when I was in high school, we used to have math class and my math teacher was super into the overhead projector. He'd do math problems with the marker projector. So every time I think of a projector, that's what I think of. But this is what real people mean when they mean a projector. So obviously we have tons of hookups. The main thing most people obviously use is the HDMI. Oops, I have a hard time with mirrors. That's why I never do my hair. So this hooks up with an HDMI to a computer or external display. And people rent these all the time for if they're having a wedding and they want to show a wedding slideshow, or if they're having a family reunion and they want the slideshow playing. This is something that you need once in a great while. Actually, someone once rented this to do, I think they were broadcasting a Fish concert. It was some kind of, or not Grateful Dead, they're done, but it was some kind of concert. This guy rented this so that he could throw a big party and project the concert that he was paying for access to onto a large screen. Now, to that effect, we go off camera here, we do have screens. So this is the one we have here. And they have a little tripod type situation, and they expand out. And this one I believe is okay, it's definitely taller than me. I think this one's 8 feet, and the one we have in Maine is 100 inches, which I really should be able to do that math in my head, but not really. Kind of fell over. But so we have the projector and we have the screen, and you can rent them both together. You can just rent the projector. What I found though is people will be like, oh yeah, I don't need the screen, just bring the projector. And then we'll show up somewhere and the wall that they remembered being blank isn't blank, or the wall that they were thinking of projecting on is a little bit shorter or a little bit further away than they thought. So yeah, so we, have the screen for that reason, because this way you can put it exactly where you want to. And oftentimes, when we do show, when we include all the connectors, we include the extension cords, this, I should say, this ain't our first rodeo, as people would say. So we kind of include everything we think people are going to need. And depending on availability, we also have, some people want us to just come and set it up. So we do have a setup fee if you want us to just show up and set it up. Most people though are like, yeah, I think I can handle plugging in an HDMI cord, finding a wall outlet, and a telescoping screen. So that works out okay. And like I said, it's kind of a nice addition to a party or to an event. And even if you actually own one, if you're, say, traveling to the area and you don't want this to take up, I mean, I'm a carry-on person. This would take up a quarter of my carry-on. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's just more, it's less hassle to just like know that you can have tech on the spot where you're going. So I'm trying to think of other things that I have. Oh yeah, and the final thing that we have, I think that's of interest, is we also have lighting kits. So as we head into the holiday season, I'm sure you're thinking about putting your products online, and maybe you're thinking that, I really want to take some good pictures of these products. And most of the time, a lot of things can be improved with lighting. So we have, and here's what we have. We have these also in Maine. So like I said, I'm in Potsdam right now. So we have these, let me step back. Yeah, you can see most, so we have these light boxes. We also have those those mirror, they're like reflective, so you can kind of reflect the light. So yeah, and we even have some backdrops in Maine. We don't have any backdrops here, but there's a lot of blank walls here, so it works okay. But so yeah, if you want to, borrow the lights to do a photo shoot with your products for the upcoming holiday season, or maybe you just want to come into our space and know that you just want to go into a room, close the door, get everything set up, and just photograph all your products kind of in the exact same setting with the exact same lighting conditions, so that as you put them all on your website, they look the same. That's the kind of thing we're here for too. So yeah, that's the kind of tech stuff we have. We also have, and we've had people call us for this, people who want to rent a computer monitor. They're on vacation, they're trying to get work done, and their laptop screen is tiny, and the idea of working on it just bugs them. Keyboards, mice, I'm trying to think of phone chargers. If you think about some technical thing that you use at work, maybe not a very specific industry specific device, but if you're thinking of certain kinds of tech that you think might be useful, we probably have it. And if we don't have it, we probably know someone who does and can get it for you. We've sourced DJ equipment. We've sourced digital cameras. I forget what they're called. The digital SLRs, I think is what they're called, like the nice cameras with the lenses. So we have, even if we don't have it, we know a lot of people in the areas that we operate in who have these kinds of things, and we're always open to new things. So for example, like this webcam thing came up where a couple business groups were like, hey, we need webcams for these hybrid meetings. And so we got this one, and the Rotary Club has used it, our local business networking group has used it. And yeah, so we're just kind of like, my goal is that, we're here to facilitate businesses being able to do more business. And part of that sometimes is being able to try stuff like, say, trying a podcast without buying the super expensive microphone, or trying, doing this kind of event without having to buy a $650 projector. And in addition to having the tech, we also have the experience with the tech, which is why we do things like include, oh, hey, you're going to need this kind of converter, or you're going to, oh, what are you using this for? Oh, actually, if you're going to be using this outside, we recommend this, or whatever, because I've used a lot of this tech in a lot of different situations. So I'm very comfortable with telling you its limits and trying to find workarounds, because it's really important. Oh, and I guess one last thing we also have, and we have this again, both main and as we have we have a couple of Square readers kicking around. If you're doing an event and your Square reader is going to kick the bed and you need something to get through a particular craft fair or something like that, we also have the scanner ones too, which I think still work, but we do have the more of the one that you insert and you let it sit in the card reader. So yeah, so that can work pretty well for some people who, again, need this tech on occasion, or aren't sure about kind of entry level stuff and just want to talk to somebody about, oh, hey, I want to get this kind of thing, what should I get? Now, we're not technology consultants. I'm a bootstrapper. I'm somebody who likes doing things and figuring things out. So I can think of, like I said, if you want to be a professional music artist and want to record things, I'm not your gal. If you are a business thinking about starting a podcast, it's the kind of thing I can help you with. So anyway, so here at Anchorspace Potsdam, also at Anchorspace Bar Harbor, we have this technology available for rent. We have it available for our members. So don't be shy about asking us about it, because we have it and we're storing it, and we've already bought it. So we might as well let people use it. And like I said, in particular, if it's if it's something that would make you become a member, and we can have it and then also let other members use it and ourselves use it, that's even better. So anyway, thanks so much for watching the Coworking Cuppa. It's going to be a weekly episode starting at 1:30 on Wednesdays. I don't know why I picked that time. I just did. It works for me. It's about the time of day I need a little pick me up anyway. So, talking to other people is helpful for that. As someone who lives by themselves, it's not quite the first conversation I've had today, but pretty darn close. And during these trying times, it's really important to connect with people. So if you need tech, Anchorspace has got tech. And like I said, we have a full list on the website. If you want to check out what we have, I've tried to include specs there if helpful for, but also, I think I last worked on that pages might be a couple years old. So I don't even have the webcams on there. The webcam thing just kind of happened because during end times, everybody needed a webcam because suddenly we were all doing our meetings over Zoom. So yeah, so we try to be really flexible. We try to get things that people need, that businesses need, and maybe they don't need all the time, but they need sometimes. And we're happy to be the kind of people who, maintain the equipment, who kind of keep an eye on what things are going to be needed and try to have it in stock, and get feedback and sort of improve the offerings that we do have. So anyway, thanks for watching my show and tell. Like I said, we've got lots of lovely tech at both Anchorspaces that we just wish more people would use. I mean, at least I do. So consider becoming a member to have access to all of this. I know you can't see it. I have I'm surrounded by all this technology. But if you also want to use it very occasionally, we do let people rent it. So no big deal there. All right. Have a great afternoon. And I hope that your technology doesn't fail you this week or any other week for that matter. But if you need us, we're here. I almost named my company Tech Nicole, because my name's Nicole. Tech Nicole. Yeah. The few people I've told did not like that idea. So I think Anchorspace works better. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great day. And if you have a topic you want me to cover, I'm just kind of figuring these things out. Just feel free to leave a comment below. And, if you want to come in, you can also, book us online. As you see, I'm here by myself this afternoon. I'm literally talking, well, not talking to myself. I'm talking to some of you watching this, but yeah, we've got plenty of space in both locations, and we've got air filters. You probably hear that in the background. We've got air changers going. We have a mask policy. When I get up from my desk, I put on a mask. So we're trying to keep things safe here and also productive. So come on in. You can use our tech, or you can just come in and work. All right, I'm going to really say goodbye now. I guess I just miss talking to people. All right, hope you guys all have a good day. I'll see you next week. Take care.